Hey all, Board Game Rancher, where you'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more. And we just blow through the first month of the year. You know, I felt like it. It was a crazy month, for one, but gaming-wise, not so crazy. Got lots of good gaming in. Here is the MVP show for the month of February. All the games I played, what I thought about them, coming up next. So I'm gonna bust on through this because it's Super Bowl weekend, which is a little depressing because that means football's over. I'm just glad we made it through the season and we got something to watch. But I waited until this weekend to get this video out. Now I better crush it out because there's a lot I want to go over, but I need to make it quick too. So first and foremost, what did I play? Well, I got 54 plays in for one, over 9 different games. So pretty solid. It's a long month for the year. And one of the slower months where other things are concerned. So I got some good gaming in. Some of this took some of these games were hours long. So 54 plays in. What did I start with? Well, for the beginning, New Year's Day, or kind of New Year's morning, early morning, played a game of Saboteur with some family. And Saboteur, well, with the expansions, is it's a card game, and you kind of a mining game, an exploration game, and a couple, depending on how many you're playing with, play the saboteurs, and other people are playing, the dwarves trying to mine and find the gold, or I think it's gold, and the saboteurs are trying, nobody knows who they are, but you can kind of guess, trying to stop them. Saboteurs win the round if they stop them. Dwarves win the round if they find the gold, and you play 3 rounds, and then you only get 1 winner, though. So kind of a fun little light game. Anyway, moving on. Too Many Bones. So I've got a game in of Too Many Bones. I got a game in of On Mars. Both these games for just trying to get a sense of them before I did my top 10 video. So I talk a lot more about them there if you'd like to learn more. Bonfire. Got 3 more games in January. I'd already started playing that in December, but did a full review on that. Steffenfeld, and check out the video there. But ultimately, it was like a Steffenfeld that didn't feel like a Steffenfeld. And so that caught me off guard. I don't have a lot of experience with Steffenfeld. All I think is point salad, and it wasn't. But how did the solo stack up? Well, check out the video if you want to learn more on that. Moving on, Dune Imperium. That's another one I think I picked up. Did I just pick up this January? I think so. 9 plays of Dune Imperium. And I couldn't even tell you who the designer is. I just heard a lot about this game, and it had an official solo variant, and a lot of people were bringing it up in their best of videos in solo gaming. And so I just came across it. I managed to pick it up for retail. I don't know, it was like $50. It seemed pretty reasonable. I did. Glad I did. Did a full review on that, but just an interesting play on worker placement and deck building, and then this cool kind of little battle conflict thing that you did to resolve the end of each round, and then you do it again and do it again, and you just the victory points, though, it's very small. I mean, just like it's like the first to 10 victory points. You're playing against 2 AI, and you can use an app that makes it much simpler and even adds to the base game's official variant, and does this thing where it takes out cards out of the buy section, which didn't come with the official solo variant in the game, which I found kind of weird. But anyway, check out that video. Overall, had a great time playing that. 9 plays in. Newsfjord. So, Uwe Rosenberg. And I've talked many times about how I kind of stopped buying Uwe Rosenberg games because they all just felt the same to me. And it was just getting, the last one that I really enjoyed was Feast for Odin. And that was a while ago, and I've been passing. But Newsfjord, I think, came out some years ago too. But I actually got that last year. And for whatever reason, it just felt like busting it out again. And just was in the mood for it. And it didn't disappoint again. But I didn't actually do a review of it last year or last time when I played it. So this time I did. You might check that out. But this is a fantastic Uwe Rosenberg solo game that, if you like Uwe's, then this I think belongs in a solo gamers collection. Ain't going anywhere in mine, tell you that. So you might check out that full review. And Cloud Age. Cloud Age, I got 11 plays in. Cloud Age was Alexander Pfister, newest release. I was not impressed really with the last few releases, Maracaibo and Blackout Hong Kong. Both have not survived my my collection. And But Cloud Age was, I will say, a breath of fresh air. I enjoyed the game, and it had, well, just some good, interesting stuff in there, and just like a bunch of little tight little deck building mechanic. But it was just a super tiny little part of the game, and it was so tight how it was operated and utilized. It was very clever. I found just like all the little thing, nothing spectacular, no crazy awesome mechanism. But this time, you know, the way it was done was just was very interesting and unique and fun and fresh feeling. So might check out that full review on Cloud Age. 11 plays of that. So my most disappointing experience of the month was, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. No, I didn't. Was Spirit Island. I picked up Jagged Earth, the expansion. And Spirit Island, I know, is the top-rated solo game on One Player Guild now. It has been, I think, 2 years. I just can't get into this game. And ultimately, I think what it is, there's kind of two things. I mean, it seems like the perfect game that I would love. And it's beautiful. The design of the game is just masterful. And it has like all sorts of cool things that I like about games, and it's heavy. But I think the biggest thing that I stall on is the amount of FAQ I feel like I need to look up anytime I want to try out a new spirit. And they're all so crazy, it's just massively creative. And I admire how, just what a masterpiece of a game design this is. But all of its intricacies, with all of the different spirits you can play. And if you want to, you know, and I'm just playing one spirit mostly, and that's just enough for me to try and digest. But I really want to experience the two spirit thing and get all that cool synergy thing going. But now there's just massive amounts of nuances that I feel like I just can't get by not looking up in an FAQ. Sometimes I can get past a game and that difficult, you know, all that stuff, but I'm just gonna have some fun. But there's just so many things. It's like, oh my gosh, I could be playing so off. And if you mix two spirits with, you know, the scenarios, and then and then you can go up against a country or whatever, you know, and just it's heavy, and it burns my brain in a way that I don't enjoy. And no matter how many times I keep trying to come back to this game and try to like it, I mean, I can't say that I don't like it. Wait, what am I trying to say? It's just, it'll never be a favorite of mine. It'll be something that never leaves my collection, just because I feel like I can always come back to this game and go, you know what, this time I'm going to like it. This time I'm going to stick with it. But ultimately, I got 5 plays in of Jagged Earth, the new expansion. It's huge. There's so much stuff to explore. But I got 5 plays in, and I was like, that's it for me. So it's just not for me, you know, and I know it's like the #1 game on, you know, no questions, absolute #1 solo game for a lot of people, and it's just not for me. So anyway, I was hoping maybe Jagged Earth would add something or else, but until I can get past all the FAQ that I feel like I need to look up, until that burn feels good and not bad, it's just kind of always just going to be a nice little piece on my collection, but that I'll probably dabble in every now and again, but that's about it. So moving on, let's talk about the MVP. Did a video on this, playing it, and that is Anachrony Infinity. Well, the Infinity Box, I guess. Fractures of Time is the big expansion that came with the Infinity Box. And I did a little playthrough just to kind of demo the game, because it is much. There is so, this is a beautiful game. This is my kind of game. This is the kind of heavy that burns the way I like, that I can't get enough of. And it's beautiful in its own right, and it's massive. And I got 15 plays of this in. Now, if you've ever played Anachrony, I mean, the base game itself, I think the weight is at 4.0. 4.0 is at 4 for Board Game Geek. You know, it's already rated a heavy game, and I mean, until you've played as many times, it doesn't feel like to me when you play the base game. Like when I played the base game, just kind of remember how to play all this stuff. It almost felt light, not light, felt medium weight. just because I played it so many times. And the AI is a thing of beauty. There's just no AI design that I think so embodies an opponent and is so easy, well, relatively easy to run. It's a worker placement game, at its core. That's all it is. A very fancy, sophisticated worker placement game. And you spend most of your time in that part of the game. Everything else is just kind of, you clip along and you reset stuff, and you have to make a couple little quick decisions, but it's ultimately, that's what the game is. And you're playing against this AI that is just it is just the most impressive AI, I think, for what it does than any other AI I've ever played against, especially with the Colossus AI that comes with the Fractures of Time expansion. And because the way it operates is with a roll of a die, there's odds. You can tell what it's going to possibly do and more likely to do, which changes what you do. You truly have to play against this AI, because if you don't, it'll get in your way. It'll take up a spot, which is going to cost you precious water, or it's going to get access to, a building that you really want, or any other number of things. You always have to be paying attention, but it doesn't take away from, well, it just adds to your enjoyment of the game. Trying to jockey back and forth with this AI. And it's so relatively easy to run. Once you've done it, if you go from the base game AI to Chronos, I think it's very easy. Very easy. It's virtually the same thing. It just adds in the other stuff with Fractures of Time. And now you've got this Fractures of Time beastly expansion that you can incorporate with the AI, and then the way the AI is done too, this new one, you can incorporate other modules. So if you see the playthrough that I did, I've got, 4 or 5 modules that I'm playing with. One, the huge one, the main expansion, and then another big one, and then a few others, and just the whole game is, I could just play it forever. It's just one of those games that is, I kind of almost forgot how much I love this game. I think I first played it like right when I started doing this channel, and I did some videos way back when, even a playthrough, I think, way back when, of just base Anachrony. But anyway, that was the MVP for me. Anachrony, the Infinity Box, and just David Turczi. This is my favorite implementation of not only his style of AI, but any AI. It even beats out the AI of Gaia Project, which was done brilliantly. But this is something else in Anachrony. And if you haven't experienced it, highly recommend that you do. Now, moving on to just more of the news of board game rants. So that was it on the games. If you'd like, thank you so much for watching. But if you want to, let's continue on. Let's first talk about the fact that maybe you've seen some of these videos. Glorious new gaming table. Oh, I have a family that spoils the crapolas out of me, because I just can't get enough of this. I'm like a child. It's like I'll be talking about the games that I've been playing, of course, next MVP, but I've just been putting games out there. It's just like, I wonder what this one looks like on it. I wonder what this looks like on it. It's ridiculous. How old am I? Anyway, I've pimped it out too, as you can see there. I got some lights that I put around the edge. I got some ambience underneath there that throws off a glow. This is and I've reorganized the games, which has got me kind of structured to where it's like, Jesus, I need to get rid of some of these games. So I'm getting rid of some games, selling them. You can check it out too. It's on eBay. I'm going to be selling these games on eBay. I'm going to be donating at least 10%, because that's what you have to. Well, anyway, you don't have to donate anything to charity, but I will be, at least 10% of any profits are going to go to charity, and I'm going to be throwing games on there. I don't know. I did this past week. I already put 5 games up, and so you might check those out. And I think my handle is Board Game Rants in eBay, because if you're interested, then, and even if you put in the notes, you're like, hey, I watch your channel, I could, if I can remember to, I might add a little something, a little shout out, or hey, thank you, or whatever. So you might check that out, because I'm going to be liquidating any games that I think I can get some money for that might be worth it. Others I think I'm just going to donate to my FLGS, but I need to thin out the ranks of this collection. And so that is going to be happening. So you might check that out on eBay. But moving on, did I kickstart anything? No. I game founded something, ISS Vanguard. It's the only game that I can't say kickstarted, game founded, or whatever you call it. Anyway, I'm interested to see how it goes. And through Awaken Realms, ISS Vanguard is, I passed up on Ether Fields, and I'm glad that I did. But this game just looks too good. And really, you know, I found that the asking price there on GameFound seemed reasonable, and I even got like $5 off. That was less than, it was like 92 bucks or 93 or I don't, something like that. And it's supposed to come this year. We'll see. But so I'm excited to see how that goes. I'm glad that it's not Kickstarter because, like I said, just kind of, well, I haven't Kickstarted anything for a while now, except for one little little game button shy or whatever, you know, the same people that did Sprawlopolis. I got Agropolis coming hopefully sometime soon. But that's the last, I think it's one of the only things I've Kickstarted in a long time. And because one thing, but I did want to, Core Worlds, Andrew Parks did a deck building game quite a while ago, Core World, one of my favorite deck building games. And it has a fan-made solo variant that I like very much. But this Kickstarter that's coming out has an official solo variant. And I looked into it. And it also has a standalone kind of, I don't know if it's like an expansion for Core Worlds, just a standalone game in the Core Worlds universe, but it looked okay. I don't know, looked kind of mundane. I don't know. I could be totally off on that, but I just kind of glanced at it. I didn't really look that deep into it. I was really mostly interested in the solo official AI variant for Core Worlds because I do like that game. I like it a lot. And it was like 20 bucks for a deck of cards, which I think, if I'm looking at it right, but I even watched a playthrough with it. It looks good, but it doesn't look $20 good. And then I was reading through the notes, and then you got to pay shipping. I mean, I don't know. I wanted to, but I would like it, but I'm not going to pay $20 plus shipping for a deck of cards. I already got burned on Raiders of the North Sea on that little operation, so that ain't happening again. But it said like, oh, if it does come out in retail, it's probably going to be $25. Well, in that event, then I definitely might as well wait, because I'd probably pay that in shipping anyway. So kind of ridiculous. That was disappointing because I'd like it, but I just can't justify the cost and it being Kickstarter again. So passed on that, but I am excited to learn more about that Core Worlds. And correct me if I'm wrong on any of that stuff. What am I waiting for? The most excited for is Dwellings of Eldervale. That is another, you know, solid reason too, maybe to think about kickstarting games, because, you know, you kickstart a game, yes, you get it early, but what if you don't like it? I know I've gotten plenty of Kickstarter games that just weren't what I thought they would be. You know, the first edition is never that good. It's always the second edition that works out all the kinks at the first edition that everybody paid, you know, a year and a half, 2 years in advance for to get. So the only benefit is you get this game that maybe you might like with all of its kinks early, and you might pay a little less as opposed to waiting. But what if you really like it? Like I've seen some people with Dwellings of Eldervale that really liked the game and now are like, damn it, I wish I'd gotten the deluxe version. Well, but you know, too late. You already got this version. And so it could go either way. There's just so many odds and ends with Kickstarter, so many things that I'm just become unenamored with, that I'm just avoiding it. Did I pay a lot more for deluxe Eldervale? Yes, but one, I'm all but guaranteed to like the game. You never know until you do it. But I've seen enough reviews, I've seen enough playthroughs, and I heard enough great things about it. It'll be weird if I don't love this game. And I got the deluxe edition because I already got a sense that I'm really going to like this game. Did I pay a lot more for that? Yes. But what is that extra, you know, whatever amount of money when you're getting a game that you know is going to be a keeper for forever? I mean, and you have, you know, a solid idea of what the game is about, and you can order it properly and get it in a fairly prompt fashion. Fairly prompt. I put it in the order over a week ago. It's still not shipping yet, but I know they got inundated with orders. So anyway, Dwellings of Eldervale, looking forward to that one coming up. And then one thing I just wanted to touch on too was that you may have noticed that there are ads on the channel, depending on when you watch them. See, I'd kind of gone back and forth, and I was like, nah, that's not why I'm doing the channel. And then I talked with some people, and then YouTube fairly recently has switched their policy to where they're like, hey, we're throwing ads on everybody's channel. whether you like it or not, and whether no matter how many subscribers you got or not. But I think that's not quite right. But that's the way I kind of read it, which got me rethinking. It's like, well, why then? I mean, if they're just going to put ads on my channel anyway, why, without my permission, and then I wouldn't get anything for it. Why not just put ads on my channel and get something for it? So, because yeah, I mean, before I started this, they had just redone something to where you had to have 1,000 subscribers and you'd have 4,000 hours of view time a year before you could monetize your channel. And that was a huge change. So I guess before that, anybody could kind of monetize their channel at any point, no matter how many subscribers or views. I'm not sure. But so they went that direction. And I remember thinking, well, it's a free platform, and people, it's kind of sucks to pull the rug out from under them like that, but it's not like anybody's paying anything for this free platform that we get to put our videos on and get to be seen and noticed and whatever. But then they turn around and do this. It's like, that's a double whammy. It's like, first you have to have all this subscribers and view time before you can monetize. But, we're going to make it harder for you to get there by throwing ads on your channel that you're not going to get paid for while you're the little guy. So anyway, seems kind of messed up, quite frankly. But then I wanted to do it in a way that was, I don't know, that was sort of a win-win. So what I decided on was, when I post a video, I will leave it ad-free for a week. I will. I don't know, I can't say what YouTube's going to do, but I'm going to leave it ad-free for a week. So that way, anybody who, like you watching this channel most likely, or this video, especially if you've gotten this far, you've got a week to basically watch the video ad-free. And then after a week-ish or so, sometime after a week, then I'm going to put ads on the channel. And so then anybody who straggles in or any newcomers are going to have to put up with some ads. And so that to me seems kind of like a win-win. That way, the people who are hardcore into watching the channel or more so, who are going to watch things as they come out, no ads for you. And for 7 days. So you got some time there to check out the video, whatever it is. But then after 7 days, you're going to have to put up with some ads. But anyway, so that's what I came up with. You can let me know if you think that's fair or not, or whether you think I sold out or not, or whatever. That's what I came up with. And by golly, I think that's it for the month of January. So hopefully this new year has started off well for you. Hopefully you've got some good looking games that you're going to be getting out on your good looking tables. And until next time, I thank you so much for watching. I'm Board Game Rants, and I'm out.